All right, guys, how's it going? I want to talk to you about this article by Paul Joyce the other day. It was actually an article about Milos Kerkez. And then within the article, he goes on to talk about Luis Díaz. This was before, I believe, Barcelona made their approach. Okay, so, because you've got to be careful with the wording like approach, inquiry. There's a difference between an approach and tabling an official bid. And all these journalists, they all word things differently. So what I would say is that this article was published before they made their approach, and I think he's updated it since then. I've had a couple of busy days, to be honest with you, just been out with my friends, a bit of a social life, so I didn't get round to reviewing it for you. But what I wanted to look at in this article were signs of club messaging, right, which is what I like to see. Now, when Paul Joyce writes, I pay attention. He's the best journalist for Liverpool Football Club, in my opinion, and obviously Ornstein is around there with him. Those two are the only two you need to pay attention to, in my opinion. Joyce, close to the people that run the club on a day-to-day basis. So you're thinking Hughes and Edwards. In fact, whenever I see an article by Joyce, I always think Michael Edwards has written this. Just like in Marca, they say Florentino Perez writes their articles for Real Madrid, sort of thing. So it's kind of like the unofficial voice of the club, I think, when Paul Joyce writes something. But you've still got to be careful with the propaganda, right? So we're looking for signs of club messaging. One part of the article said, not actively looking to sell, right? Carefully worded, if you think about it. It doesn't mean he's not for sale. It just signals, we're not pushing him out, but if you want him, bring serious money. Deco inquired, but that was rebuffed. Now, Deco is the sporting director at Barcelona, right? This serves two purposes, that message. It confirms Barcelona's interest is real and active. And it also tells fans and the market that Liverpool are in control, because they rebuffed it, and won't be bullied by Barca or low ball offers. Liverpool are going to stand firm on this one, guys, I think. Liverpool are understood to be perplexed by the noise. Let's be honest, that's nonsense, right? Liverpool know full well what's going on. Barca have admired Díaz for ages. Deco made direct contact recently. And Díaz himself, and especially his old man, they've done little to dismiss the interest whenever it's cropped up. So this is just face-saving PR in this article, with Liverpool being perplexed. The club want to appear composed and in charge, especially after the Trent to Madrid circus. No new contract talks despite good form. Classic quiet messaging. It shows the club values him, but they're not rushing into anything. It keeps his wage demands in check and maintains leverage if a big offer lands. In the article, Joyce talks about Rashford, right? This isn't random, in my opinion. Liverpool want to frame Díaz as one of several targets, not a priority target, which protects their hand in negotiations and makes any eventual sale look like Barca's choice, not theirs. And Rashford is described as a cheaper option in the article. And that line paints Díaz as a premium product, if you think about it, right? So if he does go, Liverpool could say, you wanted the top tier option, so you paid for it. The tone of the article is calm and measured. Joyce avoids drama, as you know. You're not going to get speculation from him and clickbait. That's why he's the go-to guy when Liverpool want to control the temperature publicly. He's delivering the club's side without fireworks. I'm just looking at my notes here. This is all about value protection and narrative management. Nothing in the article suggests Liverpool are going to be, bullied, pushed around or anything. It's their way of keeping fans settled, protecting Díaz's value as well, which is obviously very important, and making sure they don't get cornered into a quick sale, right? Because Barcelona, in the previous video I did today, which was showing you what they were saying in the media, the Catalan media especially, they were saying that they would like to get him preferably by July 13th for pre-season. And then in this article, it says, that this is the second summer in a row Díaz has been heavily linked to where surprised act doesn't hold water anymore. Liverpool are just playing the media game, and in my opinion, they're playing it well. So I predicted this, as you know, I thought it was all going to happen. And so, like I said, that was probably a couple of days ago or something. And today I've given you the response from the Spain side of things. I was going to say the Spanish side, but they don't consider themselves the Spanish up in Barcelona, obviously. It's a little bit of a topic, that one. Anyway, so that's it. I just wanted to say to you, look, I like to look at what Joyce is saying and break it down and try and decode what the club are trying to say and the reason they're trying to say it. Because, you know, I've seen some people come on here, I think my comments over the last 24 hours or so, Luis Díaz isn't for sale, the club have said that, what you're talking about. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, all right, okay, then that's it then. Yeah, I remember Brendan Rodgers saying, I can categorically tell you Mario Balotelli will not be signing for this club. He fucking signed the next day. You know, it's just, they have to play the game out. You've got to think about it. If you were selling something, you don't make out you want to sell it, do you? Because then someone will go, well, you want rid of it anyway, so I'll give you whatever. Do you know what I mean? Knock, you want 70 quid, I'll give you 50. I'll take it off your hands. Now, I know it sounds very simplistic, but it is actually the same thing. You know, as you're just talking in millions. You know, so if Liverpool say, well, he wants to go, they want him. Yeah, do you know what I mean? No, Liverpool say, no, he's a very important player. Right? So if you want him, you're going to pay top dollar. And I actually think that Liverpool would dig in with this as well. I do. I think Liverpool would dig in. They're not going to let him go for anything less than what they think they'll get for him. But I wouldn't pay too much attention to the Saudi links and stuff like that, because I think he wants to go there. But I don't know why I'm saying think. I know he wants to go to Barcelona. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think he'd want to go to Saudi unless Barcelona maybe was like, oh, we haven't got our 1-1 finances rule sorted, so can't do it, you know. And then he'd probably sign for Liverpool anyway again, re-sign for Liverpool maybe. Who knows? I think he goes to Barca this summer if they sort their finances out. And I think Liverpool are just going to dig in and say, it going nowhere, mate. So you want him, you pay fucking top dollar for him. The message from over here is we're not getting into that. We're not going to pay that kind of money. So it'll be very interesting to see how this works. But with the player wanting the deal, the media here which is really the club, you know, putting pressure on him, Barcelona, you're gonna have to help. You're gonna have to help with this, Louis. You're gonna have to tell them. And what did he do yesterday? He came out and said we're talking to clubs. So he's putting pressure on Liverpool, really. All right, I'll leave it with you. If you did like the video, please thumbs up the video. Please drop me a comment. I love your comments. If you want to get me a coffee when I go to the cafe and review these, which really helps because obviously I do subscribe to all these publications, the Spanish papers, the Times, whatever. I know you can do workarounds and stuff on paywalls and that, but you know, I'm quite happy to contribute when we're using things. So yeah, if there's a love heart under my video, that's how you can support my channel. Or you can join the channel and become a fucking legend if you want. But that's what I do. And anyone that does support me through the love heart thing, I think it's called the super thanks. I always give them a shout out on my morning briefing the next morning on my other YouTube channel. All right, guys, and the link is in the video description for that. It should pop up on the screen. And I'll be live on here this afternoon at 1 o'clock UK for an hour if you want to come along for an answer. All right, guys, thank you. Take care.